Microphone disconnected.
Uh-oh.
Turn the audio off.
No, we're on. I hear you.
Yeah, but I mean the damn.
We're live.
Hey.
Oh, are we actually?
Hey.
We're so.
Hey.
I was watching the YouTube thing to see if it was doing it. What the heck is up, famo?
How y'all doing?
Yeah.
All right. I got chat hanging out over here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but UNFD will be the cool guys and funnel us in some questions. I think.
To catch anybody up who is just joining, we just released a new song called Heavener, and it is our late released title track for our record Heavener.
Yeah.
That's a surprise.
Just to go into it, dive in, get dirty. We tried to write a song that kind of encompassed the feeling we wanted for the whole record. So like kind of a central point and a, I don't know, it's like the mean of the entire record. And it's actually, I would say it's sort of a different take on my original, I guess, definition I had for Heavener, but rather Marcus's individual definition.
Yeah, it's the whole record, not the whole, but a big chunk of the record is about like grief and all the stages throughout that process. And the song Heavener that we just released is like, it's about reassurance. It's about what can come after. And it's pretty much like the lyrics are kind of happy. Like the song is kind of happy, but it's definitely like some kind of positive aftermath after what comes after grief, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in this,
yeah. Go ahead, Keaton.
Yeah, I guess what it would differ for me is I kind of like the way I thought of Heavener was like sort of allowing yourself to create or in any way that you can manifest your version of heaven, or like what that is to you. And this song is pretty much kind of like, I would say the use of the word Heavener is Marcus's definition, and everyone else I'm sure will have a different kind of approach to how they think about it. But yeah, we try to wrap the whole damn record up into one song.
Yeah, it definitely like it's obviously a very slow song, and I don't know if we intended for that when we started writing it, but that like process for writing this song was like, it did not at all sound like this. It had that riff in it. We just used it as a different instrument. And it was just
the original instrumental existed for a while that Keaton put together, and we all kind of talked about it and messed around with it a little bit. And we were on our last US tour with Bad Omens, and Marcus got a hold of it and had a lot of strong opinions on structural things. And at first we were all like, oh, I don't know, because originally the big riff, which now is kind of the climax of the song, that was like the intro of the song, and it was like the center point of all of it, and we were all obsessed with that riff. But Marcus was kind of like, I don't know how I can come into this and make it, a catchy vocal driven song, which obviously is the goal a lot of the time. And so of course at first, like a lot of musicians that are attached to a demo, we were all a little anxious about that at first, but then as soon as we really started working on it, Marcus just really crafted a lot of cool vocal melodies, and him and Keaton specifically reworked the whole instrumental to be a lot more vocal driven. And then the riff, when it does come in closer to the end, I think serves an even bigger purpose than it originally did. And yeah, so we're all pretty stoked on it, I think.
Yeah, a real honorable mention is we went to Landon again, who we went to when we did the singing for the album. And even though we wrote the melodies and shit on this specific song, we definitely tried every possible way to like have vocals shine through on the like vocal takes of this one, and I feel like we really nailed it down. I'm very proud of that.
I'm gonna interrupt Marcus and give him some praise. He literally locked himself in a room for like 2 days with the song and came out. He was like, "Hey, I did this," and all of us were just like, "This is fucking perfect." And so this is a song just to kind of flex on Marcus a little bit that you wrote every melody on this song, didn't you, Marcus?
There might be like one or two adjustments.
I mean, there's always tweaks by the group, by the team.
And additionally, fun fact: this is the first song that Brody wrote drums on.
I saw somebody asked that earlier.
Yeah,
see some grooving. Hear some grooving. That's
definitely. Yeah, Trey and Kiki has always been, especially Trey, always been good with drums. But having a fresh palette or whatever, and come in and just do it, as good, but in a different way, it makes you like, it opens up the track a little bit to new possibilities and new ideas, and like it definitely, the way it's written on drums right now, it flows so good from part to part. It really flows well.
I see you and FD pinning some questions. So we're just going to be hanging out for a couple minutes, answering some questions. The first one, this feels like a good time to mention, and sorry, UNFD, if this is a spoiler. Rachel is asking what the set list is looking like for the headliner. This will be announced in like a day or so, but there's going to be a little contest for people to guess the set list. You guys are going to put together your playlist and post it. UNFD is going to review it, and whoever gets the most accurate is going to get free tickets.
Yeah,
so that's fine.
We can. Sorry. I guess we can tell how many songs it is, right? That's like a good.
Yeah.
Because if they guess like 26 songs, you're not going to be close.
It's 14 songs.
Yeah, 14 songs. Technically 15, but 14 is the correct.
Yeah, it's gonna be what's the runtime of it, Marcus? It's like an hour and
a little bit over an hour, yeah.
Hour and 5 minutes, hour and 10 minutes.
I think so, something like that.
Yeah, but interludes and stuff, so it's like that is by no means a spoiler.
Yeah.
Let me see. A bunch of people asked about tabs. Yeah, we're doing tabs. People are asking about Brody Minor videos. I don't think he'll do any more Minor videos.
Yeah, we did 4 videos with Minor, but we are planning on doing more drum playthroughs that will still be very dope.
They won't be actually at the Minor studio, but string gauge and brand. I use a couple different brands just because I'm like not on a company and just kind of take what's convenient at the time. But I always shout out String Joy. String Joy is dope because they just do like full custom sets and they hook me up. But otherwise, I'll use just like an Ernie Ball pack of like the 8-string pack, and then you just yoink the highest string.
I think if UNFD wants to pin some comments, some questions.
Yeah, it says, can we get more guitar-based playthroughs?
Yeah, we're working on that as well. I don't even want to do it, but they're making me do it, so it'll come out pretty good.
Someone asked me about that light and if we're gonna have it for sale. And just to be clear, that light was over $1,000, so I don't think y'all want to buy that.
You don't want to buy that thing at all. That's literally like if you go to a business like Target.
It's also way bigger than it looks. It's way bigger than it looks.
It's
Yeah,
like an
can we get-
aluminum frame.
Brody, go hold that light. We'll get a Brody
Yeah,
for
get you.
size comparison.
Yeah.
Watch the cables. There's a couple more. Are you guys doing signings for VIP?
Look at that.
Oh yeah.
Look at
VIP is getting the hookup. Yeah, it's pretty big. I think it's a little over 3 foot. The track is in D sharp. It's also in like a. It's actually in what I call like the happy key, but we managed to make that sad, which is something we've never done before. Haven't written in that key in that way before.
The guy's profile picture is insane.
What can we expect from the morning? Actually, we're working on being a little more dope and inclusive with stuff like that. This is probably a cool time to say anybody who comes to the headliner and can show that they're on a part of the morning and you have a membership card via email or in person. They have some people have physical cards. We have a couple or a little goodie to give you at the headliner. So if
And
you come
just
to that.
Just to anybody who doesn't know, if you go to themorning.org, you can sign up and get a digital card. It will be emailed to you. So if you didn't get one with your vinyl, you can sign up and still get that card.
Yeah, it'll give you updates and all that, just because we love to give you all information. But also, you will, you'll get benefits for sure. We're not like completely ironed out on like a super strict firm schedule for the future, but I always want to give membership holders something special, maybe like in the future, like limit or specific to you guys, merch items or whatever the case is. So if you aren't a part of that, you should be. themorning.org.
A comment that got pinned but didn't get acknowledged. Zach Pinchin was in here and he did the video. He did a fucking sick job. He worked with Marcus in London for a day, 2 days.
1 day.
Marcus can chime in on that.
No, we were looking as I was back home in Sweden and not here. We were like, how do we do this? And it's always like a fun thing. But we ended up getting in contact with Zach, who's done videos for bands like Loathe and Holding Absence. And I was like, fuck yeah. And we went, I went to London, had a great day trying to find some outfits. The day after, just showed up and we did the thing. And it was like the easiest process ever. We had Zach and his two handymen with him. It was just, I felt very taken care of, and it was a very, very creative process, which was nice because we took like 5 minutes, like between every hour, just 5 minutes to trying to like just look at it and like, how do we make this as good as possible? And like, it was one of those processes where I was like, this is a little bit over my head. So I kind of like let them just steer the ship a little bit, and it turned out very good. Very, very good.
Yeah.
Sabian Lynch is in my DMs right now saying crazy shit, but shout out to Alpha Wolf. They suck at
Yeah, another kind of peek into this song. I think I was somewhat not confident in this being a single. Going into it, like Caleb also expressed this concern as well. Going into it, we were just like, we all love this song the most out of a lot of things we've done in the past. And we were just like, as we were writing it and as we were finishing it up, it was like, I don't know if this feels like it could be a single. Like, it doesn't feel, I don't know what makes a song a single and what makes a song not, but we were just like, this kind of seems like it doesn't fit the bill. But I thought about it more, and it's like, I think if we're all passionate about it and we all like it a lot, it's like, that's probably the most honest thing. And if you guys like it, you like it. If you don't, there's a whole other record So just listen to that instead.
The amount of connection I think we all like grew to the song. Like after, like Brody was saying, we all grew like pretty emotionally attached, and Marcus was like, "Let me like chop this up," and we were like, "Oh, bro, this song is pretty gas." And then he rearranged it and put vocals on it, and the amount that each of us just like grew to love it. Like I literally remember just like laying on the floor listening to it and being like, "This song is crazy." Just like, yeah, the amount that we all grew to it and felt that it was just like an identity piece. And like Keaton said, just like I think it's a good practice to like put your most genuine foot forward with what you're releasing. And this is a song that like all of us expressed that we loved most out of what we have done before and what we maybe have in our pockets. But yeah, it was we love it.
A lot of team effort, the most team effort ever, actually. Like a lot of like just passing the project around.
Yeah, Trey wrote a whole part too.
The
part before the riff was all Trey.
We thought it's the bridge technically. We thought the song was done, and Trey was like, "No, we need to like make."
Oh yeah,
and it's actually a good idea. We pushed back on it super hard, and then did it, and then it was like, okay.
Yeah, this is a song where like it really this was like the how do I say that? It's the way we move this song around from its original is kind of like, it's definitely not the same song. It has the riff still, and it's the chorus as well.
Yeah, the chorus was kind of their instrumental.
Yeah, so it's at a point in time as a band, as a group that writes songs together, you have to like let go of attachment sometimes to things. And I've always been bad with like holding attachment to ideas. But when I joined him in Animate, we instantly started working on the vocals together. And I learned that like, okay, I can record a full song, and then the guy's going to be like, no, do this instead. And I'm like, oh. But after a while, I started realizing, it applies to everything with songwriting. Like, because I was scared to like, whenever they wrote songs, I was always scared to like, hey, what if we try this instrumentally? But now I know that something good could come out of it, and every idea is worth trying as long as you have time to do it.
Yeah. The whole process for it. I mean, this was like it was pretty much my first experience writing with the band. There had been a couple little demos we had messed around with, but definitely the first full song that I was in the room for, and just like seeing how many things everyone wanted to try over and over. I feel like we like took all the different puzzle pieces and moved them around so many different times to figure out the best combination. And I mean, obviously I've worked with different bands, but seeing how many times everyone was willing to do that was pretty dope to me, because it was at the end of a full tour. I was exhausted. I think we were all kind of exhausted, but I don't know. Everyone was just like tirelessly working on the song.
Yeah, at this point in songwriting, I wish there was some kind of like palate cleanser, because you grow so attached to the song. But there isn't any palate cleanser for when you've like grown attached to a song that I know of. Maybe some psychedelics.
Yeah, you have to delete it.
Yeah.
It takes so long for a new version of a song to become like your version.
It's so hard. There's still like songs on Graveview where I'm like, I wish we didn't redo that, which is just funny because that's 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago.
We've got a lot of questions stacking up. Caleb, go ahead.
Yeah, this comment has been pinned for a second. Who produced the song? This is the case with Heavener, the record, and Heavener, the song, but Keaton and Trey tracked guitars. Marcus tracked vocals with Landon. Production, like all the stuff that you hear that's not a guitar or vocal, that was group effort. Keaton, myself, Trey. Marcus even chopped things up and like placed them. But production wise, like for this song, it was pretty self-contained outside of just like engineering work from Landon, and then Dan Bronstein mixed and mastered.
Yeah. No, big shout out to Landon. He really helps a lot when it comes to recording my singing.
Brody, they want to know what your favorite China is. You're actually using that whole China now, whatever that is.
Yeah. I like the Meinl Classics Custom Dual China a lot. And then I also like the Classics Custom Trash China, which is the one with all the holes in it. Those two are probably my favorite. Those are the two that I've used on tour the most recently.
The new song considered a B-side or something written post-release? This was a post-release, right? It would be rare to ever use a B-side or like one that didn't make the record. I'm of the philosophy that the next thing that we write will always be better. So it's just like
scratch the whole
yeah.
shit.
There's some fire sitting in a folder, but I've already just moved beyond it. There's some real big heat. Biggest musical inspirations. It's hard to say. I've been like, I really want to understand, and I've posted about this and like done a couple of studies, so to speak, but I really want to understand more traditional but creative production. Like, I think a great example of that is the Japanese house. It's like more straightforward and in structure and stuff, but the way they produce it is like so cool. And it's like, however I can like learn from that and apply it to metal.
Yeah,
I think that will be like,
I think
a goal of mine.
Yeah, I think when I started moving shit around with the song, especially after the synths has been done, I realized that a lot of the synths are like, oh, this feels like Paris so much, the band Paris. And vocally, I think a big inspiration for this project is definitely Harry Styles, because I've been listening to nothing else this past year.
Yeah. You mentioned a lot while recording that you were trying to channel Phineas as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to channel my inner Phineas.
Brody, you want to chime in?
I don't know. I guess with drums, I think it's easy to draw a comparison with Invent and North Lane. I think Nick Pedersen's drumming is very musical and fitting. I never try and overdo it with stuff. Like, obviously, I'm a drum nerd and like doing cool technical shit, but I always try and make sure that it fits the song as well as it can. So especially a song like this that's very like a little more laid back and like drums are not the focus, but honestly still a pretty technical song. Learning how to play it was a challenge. So like there's definitely moments in there, and like the initial demo that Keaton programmed drums for had some stuff that we kept. So honestly, yeah, I mean, even that initial demo I would consider an inspiration. Like I'd never want to just be like, oh, I'm coming in and writing my own drums. I have to disregard that. Like anything that's intended to be there is worth a try. But yeah, and then I guess outside of metal, one of my favorite drummers would be like Mark Juliana, I suppose, especially for like groovier stuff like this. But yeah, I'll cut it off there. But yeah, those are a couple things.
Merch drop for each song? I don't know. We'll try.
That's funny.
We'll see what we can do. I want to do that, but it's just like it's hard.
Let's do
We're trying to move really fast too for future reference. I just want to like keep moving forward, and something like that is like we're kind of stuck to an idea.
Let's auction that and sign off. You pay some
merch
money.
though tomorrow at I think it's noon. I don't know if it's central. It's noon in some time zone in America, but we do have Shibori collaboration coming out, which is they post the product photos yesterday or 2 days ago, and those things are fucking sick.
Yeah, if you've seen the Shibori stuff, they do a good job. It's like a collective thing, so I think they're gonna get some traffic going. I think it's a couple other bands. What all are we doing for VIP again? Someone said, are we doing signings? We're doing like signed posters. We'll probably just sign whatever they want, I would imagine. I've never done VIP.
We'll probably end up just pre-signing the vinyl and the poster that you get.
Someone
That way,
said, "Don't animate pendants, please."
yeah.
Come to the headliner.
But we'll pre-sign everything, and then we will be doing the Q&A, and then photo op and acoustic set. 2 songs.
2 songs.
Yeah. Tips on how to get a fantastic guitar tone. You got to play good. You got to get big strings.
You need to be able to edit good.
Yeah, you can edit.
AI.
Yeah, just track it really well and track it hard. And
Neural DSP.
Neural DSP, baby. Get that archetype.
Evertune.
Archetype Gojira, and don't even worry about anything else.
Yeah.
Don't worry about your play. Just get Gojira.
Yeah, Gojira.
Do you guys accept fan items? Yeah, we hang them up in our van.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I got you.
There's one on the shelf. The cool one is on the shelf.
Um,
On top of the shelf.
This is in our van right
Toilet paper.
the toilet paper is for blowing your nose.
Yeah.
This is the coolest thing.
No, look on the shelf. On top of the shelf. The
I
painting.
say no, the fan might be watching.
Not that shelf, the other. No.
Oh yeah, we accept fan art.
This still needs to be hung up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we do accept it.
Yeah. There's Brody GUN.
That's funny.
What is the first thing you consider in the songwriting process?
Synths or riffs.
Damn near just vibe. Yeah, it's either like create a vibe or I'll just like write a good ass riff.
Yeah, to me, I'm always like late in the process doing vocals. To me, it's like the boys come up with either like a synth that's cool or like a riff into a verse, and I'm like, and then after that is done, it automatically creates a vibe, intentional or not. It definitely creates a vibe, and that opens up the possibility to like, how is this gonna turn out?
Yeah, if you can get a verse and a chorus, it's like, oh, this is what the song should feel like.
Yeah, that's always the important thing at the end. Like, how does this gonna feel as a piece? And you need some parts shoved in there to be able to create mood. And like layers is underestimated in songwriting, because if you like spit in a bunch of layers, you can definitely like end up with a mood for it.
I was gonna say there's been probably 10 different ways we've started writing a song before, and it's just like different depending on your inspiration in the moment. But we've started songwritings with just like a riff by itself, like bone dry naked riff. We've started songs just with like one like note of a cool like synth or soundscape. So it's really just like whatever. It sounds like so hippie, but you really just gotta like go with the vibe of what you're doing. Like you just gotta follow your intuition. Like if you hear something that sounds good anywhere, then just follow that.
Yep. If you like don't have ideas on guitar, literally just like put it down and just like pull up a synth or something stupid, or like grab an acoustic and whatever, and eventually something you're gonna be like, oh, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then just fucking drop it in there, and then that will inspire everything else.
I think this song in particular we thought of because
this one was synths first.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah, but like when shaping the actual song, I think a lot of like inspiration has also been taken from Landon, from the Plot and You and all his soul stuff. And like I think whenever I write vocals, I'm trying to like shock people a little bit, because that's like he does.
There's a very funny thing, actually. This is so very relevant, but Keaton wrote, it's one layer in Heavener. He wrote it on acoustic, and he was like, hey, write over this, like write like a chill song over this. And then I was like, okay, cool. Like I'll get it plugged in to like Logic and like see what I can come up with. And then less than a day later, you wrote like most of the first version of Heavener, you're like, hey, I actually like wrote a song with this instead.
It inspired me.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I guess if we want to take like one or two more, and then maybe if UNFD can pick the most gas question to end on.
I'll bang out these little quick ones. Yeah, what inspired the current band logo? I think a lot of it was just like looking at other people's branding, namely like eras. Clearly, this is inspired somewhat by eras, and just like trying to keep our own unique take on it. Like, you know, there's just certain bands when you think of the band, or like it's simple enough to where you could like put something on a shirt, and if you know, it's like, oh yeah, you know.
Yeah.
It's
also like, I thought of this very early. It's also very easy to tattoo. If anyone get it, because there's a lot of people. Like I have one, Caleb has one.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen someone dropped a massive tattoo that they did today. I shared it on my page. It looks good on your body.
Yep. Yeah. I saw someone ask if you struggled with learning labyrinthine. I say it both ways. It's acceptable both ways also.
Because it's labyrinthine.
I want everyone to know that both pronunciations.
Elysium.
Yeah.
Oh, asking if I did?
Yeah, if you struggled.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it was easier than I thought it was going to be. But it was definitely hard. It's still a challenge every night.
That's probably just something that you had already like started to practice, just like.
Yeah, I mean, like I started playing with the band when the album was being mixed, so I heard that song as early as July of 2022, and I was just kind of thinking about that song, and then every time I'd meet up with the guys, I'd kind of be like, let's see if I can do that part, because it's like the drum moment of the album. And then we decided to add it to the set for the last US tour. And I don't know, what I do with every song is just slow it way down at first, memorize the whole thing a lot slower, and then speed it up when I have it memorized. And it was easier than I thought it was going to be, but I mean, it's definitely hard. It's a hard song.
Brody isn't telling the full truth. He is a certified nerd, and he hangs up the sheet music for everything in front of his drums, and he reads it. Like, that's his way of memorizing. So he's a robot. He's not.
Yeah. He's like an AI learning tool.
He's reading lyrics for drums.
I still don't think Brody's real, actually. He's too good.
Shit. Well, before we go, we got to plug a couple things. Clearly, Shibori.
Headliner, baby. We're doing our first ever proper headliner.
Yeah, the headliner is a big deal. We upgraded a lot of rooms, which like admittedly is like a risk or whatever, but we just want as many people to be able to like buy tickets as possible. So like,
yeah.
Also,
it's our first headliner, technically.
Yeah.
Our first real headliner, and it's like we've been working so hard to give you guys a good show, and it's finally coming together, and we're finally able to like see how it looks, listen how it sounds, how it feels throughout the whole set, and it's definitely worth the hard work we're putting in right now, all of us.
Yeah, we're doing everything. We built a rack. We've been building the rack for 3 days now. Actually, it's still not done.
Yeah.
Building the live session.
It's our first time ever planned a lights in any sort of production.
Yeah, and we bought our own lights too, so it's like for the future we're just trying to be like a dope band forever. And I redid the whole quad setup, so like everything's gonna be cool. Guitar is gonna be way cooler. There's like stereo stuff now.
We're working with a great sound guy.
Yeah, got a great sound guy. We also have a Patreon. You guys can go check that out. I'm sure if you just Google Animate Patreon, we do like behind the scenes shit. You can actually see some of our lights and stuff in there. We posted it the other day.
Yeah, there's definitely more shit coming. A lot of singing stuff and riffing stuff. And
yep. So that's the damn song. That's Heavener. We're gonna keep full steam ahead. Come out to the headliner and keep up with us.
Sweet. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, hanging out with us. Come see us on tour. Hang out.
We love you.
Thanks, everybody.
I don't know how this ends, so
I have no idea.
All right.